But I think the first one we would like to take is the one in relation to Soldier. You know, recently we've been talking about Soldier, their feeding and all of that. So there's a video we saw, and it brought, how I said, we were really, really moved by that, and we decided. And just an update. In fact, I forgot an update to political person, a political leader who is at Edo State, that was beaten by security men. Yeah, was recently interviewed, and of course he stated why he was being beaten. Well, and just to say this again, people who are going into politics need to be very careful. Just even still on Saturday, I spoke to a friend who dived into politics recently, and his statement was like, politics is a dating game. Blossom, you didn't tell me. I said, yes, it is.
Have you done politics before?
I said, politics is a dating game. He said he had a ticket, ADC ticket, to dive into the being a senator. And so he was looking for who to give, because he didn't want to run for it. So he was given, because, well, like Femi said, there's a number. So he has gotten to his number. Yeah, his number. So he was like, okay, he didn't want to do that. He wants to put someone, and of course he'll be, getting whatever he needs to get. And after giving the ticket, he was supposed to meet the E4 chairman, and discuss that with him, that this is the person and all of that. And he got a disturbing voice note. I'm supposed to play it, but, because of time, it got a voice note where they were threatening him and saying that if he dares gets to E4, that he should just bring his coffin along.
Oh, wow.
Because they are waiting for him. So I just want to say this to all the youths out there. If you know you're diving into politics, you have to be very careful. You have to know the nitty-gritty. You have to get to people who have been there for years to understand how to go about it, so you do not step on toes and put your family at risk. Anyway,
I want to ask you a question.
Okay, please.
So is it supposed to be so?
It's not supposed to be so. Let's be honest. It's not supposed to be so. But we know how politics is in Nigeria. It's like a game. So most times, if you're not careful, if you don't ask questions, you're on your own before you even get to where you want to get to.
I just want to say that it's because they go there to make money, not to better the life of the citizenry that they have. Just that maybe anyway. I don't think our votes count.
Oh, okay.
Those that voted they don't care about them. They just go there to help themselves, help their immediate family, build houses, marry wives. That is why it's interesting, and that's why every person wants to go in there. If they were going in there to serve the people, and pocket just their salary, I don't think a lot of us will.
Yes, so I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Anyway, all right, welcome back. Well, we heard from a soldier, and that picture was what actually drove me, because the questions Nigerians are asking is, look at the picture of a soldier, maybe retired, I don't know. His two arms are gone. Does he not deserve that amount? According to what the soldier said, he said, is it because they played for 1 month and they won, and you're giving them that with 3-bedroom apartment? Whereas, and we know we've discussed this already in the studio, whereby we see that a soldier were giving, I think for 1 month, they were giving very few food items that could not even be enough for one person. And now, well, we discussed this, and I don't know who was on set that day that was actually saying that we have to appreciate. And I said, no, I'm not saying we shouldn't appreciate, but I didn't even know that this was already waiting for us to discuss. Anyway, let me ask you, Patricia, do you think there is a justification to, the president handing that amount to players who brought the cup home, and to soldiers who are actually fighting for the country's security? Do you believe in that?
Okay, I'm just going to start off with pleading on behalf of this soldier, because I know he will be court-martialed. Yes. They're not allowed, and they're not supposed to come out to speak in public. So definitely he'll be court-martialed. So I'm pleading on behalf of, sometimes when you're choked up, you need to talk. Okay, so that's by the way. Now, I feel a lot for the soldiers. Like you said, some of them go back and don't come back. Some of them are eaten by the animals. Some of them have life disability. Just like we had the other one, they were showing that his 2 arms were cut off. Okay. But then again, we're not going to be tying it with the Super Falcons that won and the soldiers. I do not understand why everybody is doing that. I mean, the Super Falcons did a beautiful job. Even though if it's for 1 month, if it's for 1 week, they came back home with the cup. And if the president had decided to gift them monies and houses, it's okay. We should be saying, Mr. President, if you could do this for the Falcons, could you please extend this kind of love to the soldiers? Not attacking Mr. President because he did that for the Falcons. He's not the first president that have done this. And again, we have heard about presidents in the past that said they were going to give them houses, money, and these footballers never got it. We heard the footballers came out to speak, at some point that the houses they promised them so many years ago,
they didn't get it.
Okay, so I don't think these girls have even received what they were promised. So let's not, put these two things together.
Okay.
We should be talking to the presidency to please look into the affairs and welfares of the soldiers.
Well, why I would not really want to, dive into your angle of thoughts is because the video of the soldier with that mere feeding, that small amount, came up even before the ladies won the cup. Exactly. So I do not. Is it not seeing the news? And you said something that they are not supposed to talk. Now, I do not want to even believe that. Yes, it probably is part of what they're saying. Yes, that's the training. Now, if they don't talk, these things will continue, and it has continued for years. But because they are talking now, that is why we know, and that is why we're talking about it. That's why we're fighting for them.
It's not as if they don't talk. They have the channel to go talk to. Not to the public.
And how about that channel is also a corrupt channel?
That's the problem, because the channel is not responding to them. It's the reason why they're corrupt.
Yeah, so I think some people are ready to probably walk out of what they are doing. Maybe if they tell them, okay, you're no longer part of, the security outfit, they don't mind. So far they are spoken and, to save, somebody has to be sacrificed, whatever it is, just to make sure that other people are, being well taken care of. Anyways, let's go on a short break, and after the short break, we'll be right back to the studio, of course, to talk more about this angle of the Super Falcons and, of course, the soldiers. Yes, so we'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay. All right, welcome back. Yes, we have our guests already seated in the studio. First, I would like to introduce Femi Chacha Emmanuel. It's good to have you in the studio. Thank you so much for beating the rain and the traffic to get here. Thank you.
Traffic was really horrible. You have to love what you do to actually still try to
be here.
Studio today.
But how did you do it though? Because when I was talking with you,
it's horrible. I think I was even trying to drive.
Huh?
Yeah. Yesterday when we went to church, I sensed some sound.
Yeah.
My wife uses it more, but when I do this, I send some sounds, and I felt I should just drive today so that I can
fix it.
Yes, but I had to thank my stars. I just had to park somewhere, one eatery in
Toll Gates. Okay.
I had to use a bike down.
Oh.
I had to use a bike down.
Honestly, I think that's why you made it early. Thank you so very much. Because most of our guests had to turn back and no, I can't go through this. Well, thank you so much for being in the studio. So yes, we're talking about a soldier who came out, right, to complain that why would the female footballers get 150 million naira and a 3-bedroom flat, and they are securing the country, and yet they're really not even being fed, talking of being paid well. What are your thoughts?
I'm a businessman. Aside, I'm an entrepreneur, and there's something called budget. You see, it will take time for institutions to actually get it right. What is happening in the sports ministry now? It takes someone that is actually really bold and audacious to do a lot of overhaul. They have to shut down. There's no more Ministry of Sports like this to happen. So it's now a directorate. See, there are so many things that the present administration, it does not mean they're doing well in all ramifications, but there are so many steps that they've taken that it takes someone really very courageous to actually be able to do that. Now, my challenge with the soldiers, the policemen, is that they have an IG as far as police is concerned. They have a CDS. They have ministries that sends budget, and that's the amount that is being budgeted, being passed, and did not trickle down. Is no longer the fault of those that release the money.
Yeah, obviously.
True.
Yeah.
It's no longer the fault of those that release the money.
Yeah.
So it's called bureaucracy. Even within ministries, where even just to fix an ordinary bulb, you have to write a memo. Memo has to pass different tables, like 6 tables, just because you want to fix a bulb. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So when you don't try to, it takes someone really courageous to actually remove all those bottlenecks. And the sad part of it is that it will require a majority of the hierarchy to retire, to be forced to retire. For someone lower that has felt the pain more,
true.
It's happening in customs. Customs are in time past for several years now really very happy. They have to beg the presidency to ensure that they extend the tenure of the present CG, because in time past we've been having people from military become the head of customs. But right now, someone that grew through the routes was actually their spokesperson for 15 years. So he understood. So he was able to do a lot of quality reforms, and all of them are really happy. So, but in the military, you have to force a lot of people to retire. And whereas, in military and police, where you have hierarchy, where you cannot just make somebody the head. There are some of them that went to class at the same time. So in fact, for you to make one of them the head, then you have to retire. So all of these are reasons why it's difficult to make any drastic change. So from whoever is picked, we actually want to, maybe the CDS is also being picked from that class, then they will settle themselves. It's difficult for all of those money to trickle down. So I'm of the opinion that like 3 top sets need to actually leave. But you see, to take that kind of decision by a civilian president when there are insecurities,
it will be difficult.
And even it's a civilian president that had a military background,
he would understand.
Obasanjo, Obasanjo did that.
He did that.
It's easier to do that. So it's difficult. People think governance is not rocket science, but I keep saying it. It's not as easy as people think
it is.
Some of these things are. It's really not.
Okay, all right. We would like to hear from Comrade. I think Comrade has joined us already. Do you have Comrade Ola Agbola from Ogun State? Please, if he has joined us, can we have him on the screen? Okay, I guess he has not joined then. Okay, all right. So we have some messages here. This one says it is not normal. Okay, we don't understand what's not normal, is it? Okay, we have him already. Oh, network. Well, it's raining, so I guess we'll manage it like that. Comrade, can you hear us from the studio? Good afternoon, sir.
I can hear you clearly, very clearly.
Great, I love that. Okay, so you heard what we're talking about. We're talking about the 150 million naira given to the female footballers and the house they got, and of course the soldier complaining that they are not well taken care of in terms of, in fact, every aspect basically. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think it's the fault of the president? Well, Femi has made his own analysis, but we'd like to hear yours. Do you think it's the fault of the president, or is the fault of how will I say, the military themselves?
Yeah, thank you so very much for having me. Without prejudice to the Super Falcons, they are also, they have served the nation in their own way. But ordinarily, it is not the fault of the present administration, but it has become a vicious circle in the way our country is being run. Now, let me take you, that soldier man that said it, he has the right to say it. It is in his right opinion that he has said such, and that is true. Have you been to the Armed Forces Resettlement Center in Oshodi? Go there, go and see soldiers amputated, disabilities, there are so many. They are even begging. They come out from this resettlement center to areas like Charity and Oshodi and be begging for support. They have been neglected. are people who have protected us. I'm a barrack brought up. My father retired in 1991 in the fighting force of the Nigerian Navy, meritoriously, before he passes on in 2025. So I know what I'm saying. Thank God, I want to take it from the last statement of Femi, where he mentioned Obasanjo. And I have to tell you, without being equivocal, that today, whether we like it or not, the democracy we are enjoying today, as it is, the anniversary of our nascent democracy since 1991 to date, today is made possible by Chief Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo. I'm not a fan of Obasanjo during his administration, but when we look back, what he did during that period could only be done by an ex-military man, even as a civilian president. But I'm standing by. I said, what I want to align myself, Tonjo. He has done certain things, but I want to put it in the right perspective that the democracy we are enjoying today was made possible by Chief Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo. I'm not a fan of Obasanjo, as I said. But if you could remember, when Obasanjo came into the saddle of civilian administration, he retired thousands of military personnel, irrespective of their positions. Those he identified as those who have tasted power in one form or the other in the military. He retired them prematurely at the prime of their military career. Those are the people who understand how to plan a coup. Those are the people who have tasted power. Even sergeants were retired. And that is why today in the military, I will tell you today, military can never take over the democratic administration as we are experiencing in Nigeria. Because all these corps of generals you are having, they are not veterans. They have never tasted war, they have never tasted power. They are the omobota kind of generals whose parents are influential and just lobby them through the National Nigerian Defense Academy. They will not go to the war front. You don't even see them in Sabisa. It's only the regiments, the rank and file that you see in the war front. So thank God for that. No military mind today, as we have in Nigeria, can topple the democratic, administration of Nigeria. Obasanjo have sealed it for us. So we must applaud him today, in case people don't understand. Not that his administration was fair to the masses of our people, but we have to applaud him for that. Not Jonathan, not Buhari. Buhari came, have an easy ride. Tinubu today is a pure civilian Democrat. So go to, as I've said, the Armed Forces Regiment Center, you will see these things. So I said, without taking this to the Falcons, they have served their country. But ordinarily, this thing stares some people in the eyes. That are we so rich to this extent that just for a 90-minute match or 1 month in training in camp, you are giving people $100,000. So this is a way where these are the ways bourgeois, capitalists, they steer people, and people who are genuinely committed, that have fought for our national progress and national interest, and not look upon. So it's not a good one. I'm not saying they should not compensate. During the days of Muda Lawal, Omokashi and everything, it was done like that. But we must try to do things, according to international best practices. This cannot happen in developed countries, American, UK, and things like that. They hold their soldiers in high esteem. But please, whatever that soldier man have said is his own. It's a good opinion, and actually, it's the general, feelings of majority of the military men in the battleground, and those that have been incapacitated.
I don't know if you can hear me from the studio.
National calling.
Thank you very much, comrade.
So that is it.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah. Yes, thank you sir. That well noted and duly noted your opinions on this matter. In as much as you have to appreciate people, like let's just say parity is what matters, and you've actually said so, and I think you're saying much at the same thing as what Femi Chacha also said, that it would take a lot before a civilian will be able to do what is right by the military people, but obviously if we have a military person, which might be impossible for them to even take over power, that they will be able to attend to such needs. But I think the cry out is enough for the leaders to actually listen and pay attention to that part of the security angle. But anyways, we have messages here from our viewers, and of course they've been calling, but I'm just going to read one message before we move over to the next topic. This one says, good afternoon presenters, I understand the cry of the soldier and the cry of every Nigerian regarding the cash gift to the Super Falcons. However, do they realize that a cash prize of $3.4 million comes with the trophy? And the cash gift covers the amount being given to them. That's my own understanding. Okay, let's talk about this too. Well,
I have not expressed my opinion. I forgot to express my opinion about the Super Falcon.
Okay, great, please.
There's no way you can. Human behavior is difficult to please humans, and that's why when you are in a position of leadership, you take decisions and take responsibilities. You must be ready to take the blame. You see, we have several veterans, former Eagles, former Eaglets, that their careers were cut short due to injury and are begging for peanuts.
Yes.
I'll give a good example of Rashidi Yekini, of blessed memory. We know how the man died. Now, sometimes that someone looks hale and hearty and healthy with the kind of career in sports, there's no guarantee that you can live. People like JJ Okocha and Kano are lucky.
Kano, yeah, very, very.
They are actually really very, very lucky, and that's why you find out that when you're out of your prime, the likes of C. Ronaldo, the likes of Messi have endorsements. Those times there were no endorsements.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
That many of them can live on. We take Victor Ikpeba. We see many of them doing several adverts and on several endorsements. But see, if you do not use do you know the funniest thing? Some of them, this is actually the last time they will be representing.
Okay.
Because you can't also forfeit the opportunity of younger players, of injecting younger players into the
system. Yeah.
Look at the almighty Asisat Oshoala.
Oh yeah.
Asisat was obviously out of form. She was not even able to perform well.
Yeah.
That is someone that has won back to back. The best on the continent. That lady may be unlucky to be in the team, and if this reward didn't come, then that means
that she didn't get nothing.
Nothing to show for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Except for the international. So why must they get big? That's why you find out that when most of them want to play for the country, they don't want to put in their best.
Yeah,
because when they get injured, it is their clubs that is responsible that will come to fly them off.
Yeah.
So if we want patriotism, there's something with time. I know that insurance companies, when they see that government is pushing money into a sector, insurance companies are willing to accept to insure people so that when they have injury, it's easier to refer them, and Nigeria can take care because they know that now government has an eye. So my position is this. See, every sector requires funding.
True.
But as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, there are things that you know that will give you. And as a politician, I'm a politician too. There are things that you know that will give you soft landing in the short term. When you solve that problem in the short term, do you know how many people I'm very close to Osimhen. When Osimhen comes home, if you know how much that guy spends, and he likes to behave normal, he still plays ball. Yeah,
moves around too. Yeah.
He will be the one to even call guys. I don't show. If you know how much those guys, do you think they are going? No matter how much was released, you will be surprised to know how much those girls will actually. You will be very, very shocked. Because there are people. Because it was even announced publicly. There are family members that have never even called before.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden we saw.
How about the cash prize that comes with the cup? This person says the cash prize of $3.4 million.
Sure. You see, one of the things I'm saying is that we now, without trying to do a PR for this administration, because there are areas they are not doing well. The truth is, for the first time, I put it to you, obviously because they want to campaign, obviously because it's the campaign material. But for the first time, you find out that between now and December, the houses, the cash, those people will do videos to acknowledge and thank the president that they've gotten this. Not because of love, don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
It's a political stunt.
It's a campaign material. It's a campaign material. So now my point is, the money that comes to the corp itself will be in time past. They have principalities and powers that actually always sit on the money. Yes, but you know, the person sitting at the moment this is the first time after Obasanjo that we have a singular person sitting that is the Kabal himself. Others have been surrounded by people that are cabals that dictate. But Obasanjo during his tenure was the singular cabal. This person sitting at the moment is a singular cabal. So it's difficult for even for a fly to move. The fly needs permission. He is that powerful. Why do you think there is serious gang up and people are coming together because they need a coalition or coalition to remove him? Because they understand that he's the singular cabal. So it's difficult for. I'm not saying that in praises of him, but I'm just trying to say that money will trickle down. They will get it not because of the love of those girls already, but because it's a campaign
material for them.
Blossom is asking, someone sent in a message that are you saying that's the same money he's going to use in setting?
No, it's a different thing. Those ones they will still get it. But some of those cash prizes, there are also backroom staff that were not rewarded.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, there are a lot of backroom staff that were not rewarded. That was not mentioned. So some of this, the one that comes to the corp will actually go around for everyone. And when it comes to each of them, they may not get something too large. That's why those that participate are always being rewarded by the.
I just heard $3.4 million. How would that not be so much? I don't get it.
If I tell you how many,
$3.4 million.
How many people wants to share that money? Yeah. You see, even in Nigeria, do you know that when you hold 1,000, once you spend 100 naira from it,
it's almost as gone.
It's the same thing for a
She
billion.
complained to me this morning.
I complained.
10,000, you just.
I complained 10,000. I can't find anything in my purse.
You'll be shocked.
No, it makes no sense.
But anyway, this Falcon gift has really attracted a lot of talks, because we also heard on social media where they were attacking Pastor Adeboye. Who also said, why didn't they reward the anyway? Can we just move on?
From there. Okay, let's move on. I was supposed to pick a call. This person has been calling like so many times. If you're there, you can call back. We'll definitely. Okay, we have some calls. Let's just start picking. Okay, dropped again. Okay, Patricia, let's talk about the renovation, right?
Yes.
The airport, because talking about that already on my status, I was seeing a lot. There was no praise. It was all backlash.
Yeah, and I want to talk about it. I want Femi to react to that.
Okay, yes, he has called back. Sorry, apologies. Let's quickly pick his call. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Aberdeen State, Kenya.
Okay, Aberdeen State, Kenya. Okay, please, sir, go ahead. We're listening to you.
My name is Ifeanyi.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Ifeanyi. We're listening.
The main thing is going to the table is being avoided. That young man there is talking trash. He says trash. We're soldiers. Soldiers who pay life for what they do. There's no one in the whole world that is going to soldiers, go to war front. Opposite of injury. But are you going to believe we have 20, 30, 40, 40 every night. And only that 30, 4 or 5 will lose their life. 2 will lose their hands. 3 will lose their legs. Like watching they're paying 130,000 naira. That's what we call the table. But that is like debating. Tell me, in US, I know you say US now, if you work for soldier for only 1 year, you have it's only work than your life. It's called the bank. If you're tired, you retire. But in that country, you don't know put that you're tired. It has limits before you retire. And your job is what? Work front. Not commission officers. Commission officers don't know anything. When you call 100 soldiers, only 1 or 2 officers will be there. Please do push to center and water ball report them. About the two. A woman, you want a war. The phone enter soldier from the state of 17. And your democracy is dead. The is fine, it's dead. Please do push to have every government. See the food is in the war front.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Ifeanyi. Okay. Go ahead. So
let me react to this quickly. You see, like I said earlier on, there's no when you're a leader, there's no emotions to different things. One, if if you join the army, you join the police, there are things that you have signed. It is not that I know. I have students that passed through me that went to Russia, and then when all of this started in Russia, they were drafted into the army. It's a different thing. But that you went to pick form, you decided to join. It's not by coercion. Why? That does not mean that some of us believe that the welfare of soldiers is not important. Now the point is this, and I need to re-emphasize it. They have a budget. They have a budget. Now they have heads. I've said I guess he joined probably when I was talking about the Super Falcons, and I already But I need to re-emphasize my point. Now it's difficult to do an overhaul in the military or in the police because there's a lot of bureaucracy. I said that earlier on. Now going forward, what's the way forward? Some of them, the reasons why it's difficult for many people to even, I don't want to use the word pity, but let me use the word sympathy, is that one, even when they're talking about posting, most of them prefer to be posted to private citizens. Because aside their salaries,
they have something else.
They have something else. Most of them prefer to be posted to private citizens. Most of them prefer to be posted to banks. Most, if you see those, it's the lower ranks that I actually feel for the most, that are actually thrown to those wars, or probably sent to Liberia before. I have people like that wants to join, and you pass through training. The first place they want to throw you is Liberia. Now going forward, I'm of the opinion that patriotism across all sectors differs, and every one of us signed different. They signed different oaths. So I insist that to take a drastic measure in the military and the police, it will probably require a civilian president that has a military background. That's what I said earlier on. It will require a civilian president that has a military background to stamp his foot, to now wipe off some of these people that are not letting this money trickle down, because it's not as if the government does not release the budget. Look at the one we watched last week. They said they were charged 60,000 naira.
Yes.
So that means that amount was actually deducted. But what was sent to them is
was not up to them.
So it's a different scenario on its own. It's a different thing if they were not even charged at all and government
some people that for free.
So that's what I'm saying. It requires someone, a civilian president that has a military background, and that's why thank God Comrade agreed with me. It took an Obasanjo to do that.
Sack
to really wipe that debt. So it's not something that is a bloody civilian that they like to tag us. We just think that because he feels he's in control,
he's the president.
He's the president. Like, I don't know. Some things are very difficult to do. Not like it's not important. But they have to keep doing it gradually so that you don't hurt the wrong people.
Okay, well,